Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to talk about the performance comparison on both CPU and GPU. The prices listed are based on the current Malaysia market and are provided for reference purposes only. Actual prices may vary depending on time, location, and seller. This is the undisputed multi-core performance king for the foreseeable future. Currently there's no real replacement for it. The price is not even that high compared to today, 7950X. Even if you use it until the next flagship drops, you will only lose a couple $100 at most. Plus, if you upgrade CPU later, the motherboard may still support the next generation R9 flagship. Highly recommended. The 7000 Series X3D is not recommended because its cache design tends to cause heat buildup and throttling. However, if this model is priced reasonable, it is still worth considering. Still strong in multi-core performance, but the price gap with the 9950X is small. If your budget already reaches flagship level, just go straight for the 9950X 3D. Spending a few hundred more is worth it. This is basically a 9600X 3D plus 9600X, a 6 plus 6 CCD setup, not 8 plus 4. That means it is 6-core gaming performance will inevitably fall short compared to the single CCD, 8-core 9800X 3D. Not recommended. If you want both productivity and gaming, only the 9950X 3D really delivers. For productivity at the same price, their main rival is the 265KF. Compared to that, these chips fall short in value. From a gaming standpoint, it's even worse. They are dual 6-core CCD, and gaming performance cannot even match an R5 without scheduling issues. Overall, not recommended. Boost from 3DV Cache. It's one of the best buys for gaming, highly recommended. Easily tied with the 9950X 3D as the strongest gaming CPU. An 8-core 16-thread single CCD chip. Gaming performance is just behind the X3D models, making it the strongest non-X3D option. Solid buy. Gaming performance sits just behind the 9800X 3D and 9950X 3D. Still a great pairing for GPU like the 5070 Ti. Although it is 7 Series X3D, but still recommended. Essentially just two 7600X slapped together, gaming performance is weaker than the 7800X 3D. Not recommended. For multi-core productivity, the Intel 14600KF offers better value. For gaming, the AMD 9600X is the better choice. This is the entry point into Zen 5 impressive gaming performance. At this price, nothing else comes close for gaming. Highly recommended. The 7600X is not worth it, because for just 200 MY or more you can already get the 9600X. Comparing the 7400F and 7500F. The 7400F runs a bit hotter and performs slightly weaker, so it's more suitable for players on a tighter budget. Out of these three, the 7500F is the one to pick. AMD next generation processors based on the Zen 7 architecture are expected to continue using the current AM5 socket. That means AM5 will stretch across 4 generations of CPU, Zen 4, Zen 5, Zen 6 and Zen 7. Hence AM4 socket CPU is not recommended. If you really want an Intel processor, then I'd recommend the Ultra series. These CPU are suffering from a high risk of stability problems or reliability issues, hence not recommend. According to rumors from video cards, the Ultra 300 series will see a huge jump in core counts compared to the previous generation. And if they continue to use the LGA 1851 socket from the last generation, that would be fantastic. Later this year we should see the Ultra 200 refresh, while the Ultra 300 is expected to arrive at the end of 2026. With all that said, I hope this helps you figure out which processor is currently the best fit for you. GPU is not complex as CPU, mainly is video RAM and performance. To keep it fair, especially for those low bandwidth GPU running on higher resolution output will present disadvantage. Hence for this gaming comparison I am keeping everything in Full HD. This time I am not going to make any predictions about a 50 Super series. The Super should be its original. I do hope that AMD push is more harder for their next series GPU. If not, Nvidia 60 series might turns out as this 50 series, that would be pretty disappointing. For AMD 9070 XT and 9060 XT, due to no CUDA cores, thus I replace them data by using its stream processor. GPU with 16-pin connector carry a risk of connector melting or burning risk, hence not recommend. Especially for the 5080, 5070 Ti, and 5070, there will be Super versions later on, and the extra 6 GB of video RAM they bring is definitely a nice improvement. On the AMD side, their GPU do offer great value for gaming, but when it comes to productivity, they fall way behind because they do not have CUDA technology. Looking ahead, for Full HD gaming, most future AAA open-world title games will need at least 12 GB of video RAM to stable frame rate in 1% low. So I would recommend going for a 16 GB video RAM card to stay safe. As for the 30 series, with its high power consumption and the risk tied to mining usage, I'd say it's best to avoid it altogether. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and share. See you guys in the next video.